Welcome to Developer Roadmaps. If you've ever wondered what really powers your favorite apps, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to chart a course through the world of backend development. It might seem like a maze, but I promise, with this map, we'll see exactly how all the pieces fit together to build the incredible systems that run our digital lives. Let's dive in. So what is backend development, really? I love this analogy. It's the engine room of tech. You know, when you're on a big ship, you see the beautiful deck, the bridge, but you don't see the massive engines making it all move. That's the back end. It's the servers, the databases, the complex logic working tirelessly behind the scenes to make everything you do see on the screen actually work. Okay, so if the back end is this hidden engine room, what does a back-end developer actually do all day? What's their job?
Well, they're basically the architects and engineers of that engine room. They're the ones building the APIs that let different parts of the application talk to each other. They're in charge of the database, where all the important information lives. They have to make sure everything is running fast and can handle tons of users. And maybe most importantly, they're responsible for processing and securing all our data. They are, quite literally, the backbone of any application.
So here's our route for today. We've got 5 main checkpoints on our map: choosing your first tool, learning how to build together, setting up the data foundation, making all the right connections, and finally, building with real confidence. All right, let's get into our first checkpoint, choosing your first tool. And right away, we're talking about programming languages. Now, I know this is where a lot of people get stuck, but let's reframe this, because it's not about mastering syntax, it's about learning how to solve problems.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Your goal isn't to become a master of syntax. Your real goal is to become a great problem solver. The programming language, that's just your tool. Your real value is in being a great problem solver. The language is the paintbrush. You're the artist.
So, what are some of the most popular tools for the job? Well, you've got Python, which is just fantastic for its simplicity and readability. It's huge in AI and data science. Then there's JavaScript running on Node.js. The cool thing here is you can use the same language for both the front end and back end. And then there's Go, or Golang, which came out of Google. It's all about raw performance and building super efficient services for the cloud. Okay, let's move to our second checkpoint on the roadmap, building together. Because here's the thing, modern software is a team sport. It's all about collaboration. So let's look at the foundational tools that make that possible. At the heart of all this is a tool called Git. And the best way to think about Git is like a super-powered save button for your entire project. It takes these snapshots of your code's history. So if you ever make a mistake, and trust me, you will, you can just rewind time to a version that worked. It's an absolute lifesaver. Now, this is a super common point of confusion, Git versus GitHub. What's the difference? It's simple, really. Git is the tool. It's the software running on your own computer, managing your project's history. GitHub is the service. It's the website, the cloud platform, where you host your projects so you can share and collaborate with other people. So think of it this way. Git is the engine, and GitHub is the online garage where you park it and let others work on it. All right, checkpoint 3. And honestly, this might be the most important one, the data foundation. Pretty much every useful application is all about data. So let's talk about how we store it, how we get it back, and how we keep it safe. The absolute workhorse here is the relational database. And the core idea is beautiful in its simplicity. Organize data into clean, structured tables, kind of like a spreadsheet on steroids. Each row has a unique ID, which lets you link everything together without repeating yourself. It's all about structure and integrity. But how can we really trust these databases with something super important like a bank transaction? Well, that's where the ACID guarantee comes in. It's basically a contract of trust. Atomicity means an operation is all or nothing. It either fully completes or not at all. Consistency means the data never breaks the rules. Isolation means 2 operations happening at the same time can't interfere with each other. And durability means once your data is saved, it's safe. It's not going anywhere. But even with all that reliability, we can still run into major performance problems. And one of the most common pitfalls is something called the N+1 problem. Imagine this. You ask the database for 50 blog posts. That's one trip, one query. Then, for each of those 50 posts, you make another trip to the database to get the author's name. Suddenly, what should have been 1 or 2 quick trips has turned into 51 separate requests. It's a killer. And get this. This is the crazy part. You might think, oh, my database must be slow. Nope. In these N+1 situations, a staggering 94% of the wasted time is just travel time. It's the network latency from sending all those tiny individual requests back and forth. It's literally death by 1,000 paper cuts, and it's the network, not the database, that's bleeding. So, how do we fix this? How do we beat the latency? The answer is caching. We use a lightning-fast, in-memory tool like Redis to keep a copy of the data we need all the time right next to our application. The result? We go from response times in milliseconds, which is already fast, down to sub-milliseconds. It is an absolute game-changer for performance. Okay, checkpoint 4, making connections. We've built this powerful engine in the backend, but how does the front end, the part the user actually sees and clicks on, how does it communicate with our engine? The bridge between the two is the API, the Application Programming Interface. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a menu at a restaurant. The menu tells you exactly what the kitchen can make and how you need to ask for it. An API is just like that. It's a clear, defined menu that tells the front end exactly how to ask the back end for data or to perform an action. And that brings us to our final checkpoint on this tour, building with confidence. It's one thing to build something that works right now. It's another thing entirely to build something you're confident won't break tomorrow. So how do we ensure our code is reliable? The answer lies in a strategy called the test automation pyramid. Think of it like building a house. At the very bottom, you have a ton of fast, simple unit tests. These check each individual brick to make sure it's solid. In the middle, you have fewer integration tests. These check how the bricks work together with the mortar. And at the very top, you have just a few big end-to-end tests that check if the whole building is standing strong. This structure keeps your testing process fast and efficient. And just like that, you have the map. We've journeyed through the core skills. We started with our language, our main tool. We learned how to collaborate. We laid a solid foundation for our data. We built connections with APIs, and we learned how to build with confidence through testing. We've connected all the dots. So, are you ready to explore this path in more detail? Because, each one of these checkpoints is a huge topic on its own. And that's exactly what we're here for. To really dive deep into every single one of these topics, make sure you check out our beginner-friendly and our detailed playlists right here on the Developer Roadmaps channel. We've got a full guide for every single stop on this journey. This is Developer Roadmaps. Map your path. Build your career.